afternoon, evening, good morning, good night. Hope you're doing all right and enjoying the nice weather. It's nice where I am at the moment. So we're going to look at Coldplay's Yellow. It's quite a popular one, and Coldplay get a lot of stick, sometimes for good reason, but I think overall for the wrong reasons. And I think there's something really nice about the song Yellow. And if you haven't heard it, I'd recommend pausing this, listening to it, because it is a cracker, a classic wedding track as well, and also just like a good one to jam along to. But it's quite straightforward, so I'll explain it in like two levels once we know the full chords, and then we'll kind of play around with the tunings, because Chris Martin, assuming he's the one that thought of this, there's some really interesting parts going on here. So yeah, we'll have a look. So first of all, we've got the C chord, which is just I'm going to say full C, but I mean, if you're more familiar, if you're at the bit more of a beginner stage, it's just that one finger on the second string, first finger on the second string with the first finger, and it's like that. If you wanted to do the full C, that looks something like this. Okay, so where we've got our third finger on the third fret of the fifth string, lots of numbers, I won't quiz you, don't worry. And then we've got the second finger on the second fret of the fourth string. Okay, and we're not playing string 6. Okay, so just so you can see this, I'm going to put it on the screen. Aren't I good, right? Let's see how good I am with technology. There we go, this one. Okay, so that is the C chord. That's the first chord we need to do. Notice the X, meaning we're not playing it, and the two O's, see them more as O's than zeros, but I suppose they are supposed to be like noughts and crosses. So the two noughts, we're leaving them open. Okay, so that's the first chord that we have. Okay, the next chord that we have, there are only 3 chords in this entire song. Okay, which is nice, right? So we have this one, that's the main chord that we're going to be playing. Then if you scroll down, this is, by the way, this is in Junior 2 or Senior 1, whichever book you have, it'll be there. And you can do the same and scroll through it slowly as well, like I am. Cool. The next one is the G chord. So if you're Junior 1, just look at these 3 strings. Got a third finger on the third fret of the first string. But if you wanted to have a crack at this, so the full chord, Junior 2, Senior 1 as well, like especially the latter stages, you should feel comfortable with this after a while. So you've got a second finger on the third fret of the sixth string, first finger on the second fret of the fifth string, as well as this third finger as well. So it should sound something like one of my personal favorites. So altogether we have that C chord, and then now we've got the G chord. And honestly, the amount of songs that use those 2 chords as a starting block is, there's loads, to say the very least. Cool, so we've got those 2 chords, and the last chord we've got is not this one, but this one. So F maj 7. F is actually pronounced F major 7. They just sort of squish it in. It's shorthand, I suppose. It's just, instead of saying F major 7 all written out, they kind of shortened it. So F major 7. So the reason why it says major 7 is just because we've got an extra note involved with this, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Just see that you can see the F and you'll be fine. Okay. So one good thing is we don't have to worry about 2 strings, string 6 and string 5. We can just focus on 4, 3, 2, and 1. But if you remember the C chord, let me show you. We used this fret using our third finger, and we used this one with our second finger. So all we actually have to do is just move it in pairs. So this one and this one just move to this one. If you wanted to move back to C, just as simple as that. Okay, so I'm not sure if that makes it clear with the lines, but there you go. That's the only difference between the C, and I'm just doing these 2, and then just moving them up to these 2. And one thing that makes it really nice is this one, which is why it's called an F major 7. For me, it's quite like melancholic and quite like, I don't know, I really like this chord. Okay, and if you feel that you can't do all 4, just do these three strings, 1, 2, and 3. That is absolutely fine. And yeah, give that a go. I recommend if you haven't seen this before, just pause the video and like practice just moving from C, that first chord, to this one, F major 7. And again, lots of songs use this as well. Cool. So now we have those 3 chords. Those are the only 3 chords that we have within this song. Let's put it up. So I have made a resource thing, and as you can see, there's a lot going on, but not really. It's the same chord that's played 8 times each bar, or if you remember your note lengths, these are 8th notes or quavers, not the crisps, depends how you know of these. Okay, so that means that we're going to be strumming this down, up, 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 until the end of time, because there's no rests or breaks or anything like that. Okay, so we have the C chord. Put a little mark there just in case. And then we've got the G chord. Well, the C chord is for 2 bars, then the G chord for 2 bars. Okay. Then that F major 7. I've added my 3rd finger to this I've used my little finger for the 5th string on the 3rd fret. You can do that, you don't have to. I just quite like that sound, to be honest. And then we're back to C. So if you wanted to hear it all together, we're doing each one for 2 bars. So I'm going C, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to the G. To the F major 7. And it was all yellow, back to C. And that's honestly pretty much it. There isn't really much more to it in this song, but that's the beauty of it, is that it's just using the C, G, and F major 7 and back to C. And just these 3 chords put in a combination and just repeat it over and over again. Okay, so I'll put this in some form of link so you can see it and have it with you to practice if you would like. And yeah, I think that's it for this level, just to get used to the chord changes, and it's a really good one for getting used to transitioning from C to G, G to F, and F to C. Okay, so that is the level 1. Okay, level 2. Now this is why I absolutely love this. Well, one of the many reasons why I love this song is the fact that there is actually a little bit more going on. And this is definitely more advanced. What we're doing here, actually, the tuning changes. Okay, the high E string, so the string number 1, we tune it down to a D sharp. Okay, and if you have a tuner, it'll be obviously quite easy. But what you want it to do, especially if if you feel advanced, you want it to be the same pitch as the 4th fret on the 2nd string. So this one, at the moment, it's not the same, as you can tell by that crunch. So we just need to loosen this one. So it's the same. Okay. And this opens up a lot of interesting things. As you can see here, we're playing 2 notes twice. And what we're doing is we're half barring the chords, which is interesting. So what we're doing is we'll use our 1st finger for the 6th string on the 7th fret. And I'm using my 4th finger, my little finger, sorry. It is my 4th finger. And then my 3rd finger, and then my 2nd finger, in that order. Okay. My guitar's a little out of tune, but you get the general idea. And yeah, within the 6 strings, we're actually playing only 4 notes, because this one is, let me think, this one is the same as, this one's the same as this one, this one's the same as this one. Okay. So if you played string number 4 and number 2, they're the same. And string 3 and 1, they're exactly the same. So this is quite a clever idea that Chris Martin, Coldplay, whoever I've decided to do, because we can sort of keep the same notes there, and we kind of keep them pedaled. That's a term, like, think of like a piano, you put your foot on the pedal and it sort of keeps the notes going, or like a car, I suppose, a pedal. And what we do is we keep the shape, but we just move it from the first finger on the 7th fret to the first finger on the 2nd fret. So, and I'm almost kind of sliding down. Oh, I love that chord so much. There's a bit of a squish, as you can see with the notes. Squish is not the technical term. Okay. And as I said, we're strumming. It's exactly the same strumming pattern. It's just, I thought I'd do it just to show the chord individually. And I'm sure you get the general idea. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, and 4. This might sound a bit more like the record, right? And hopefully, if you're at this level, you would recognize this shape to be the E shape. Okay. And what's really lovely here, I don't want to go into the theory too much, but that top one makes it no longer just an E chord. Normally it would if you tune that one up, if it was a normal tuning, but because it's down one, it's actually a major 7. So we're technically playing E major 7 with this. Oh, and it's probably one of my favorite chords, which is another reason why this is far more of a clever song than meets the ears. And then we move back to that first chord. So if we think first chord, second chord, and third chord, we've got 1, 2, 3, then back to 1. Okay. So I'm just going to play it well fast, just so you can hear it. And that's what we've got so far. So yeah, I'll make sure that this is the second page of the same document. So if you feel up for it, if you've tried the one before and you're like, no, I think I can do more, then crack on with this. If you're still struggling with the first one, I wouldn't recommend doing this one just yet, because this is just a little bit harder to do. But yeah, give it a go, see how you feel, and yeah, hope this helps. Any questions, let me know. Have a lovely rest of your day, week, month, year. Yeah, and I'll see you in a bit.